This is ABC15 Mornings.
A new, more contagious strain of COVID.
It takes a little bit of time to put these restrictions in place.
More countries banned from traveling to the U.S.
We are approaching it with a sense of extreme urgency. We've got to get a handle on this.
What's next in the fight against the pandemic? An exclusive interview this morning with Vice President Kamala Harris.
Brought to justice. We talk live to one of the officers who apprehended 2 Arizona fugitives.
We almost tossed it aside. We almost threw it away.
Why confusion has some people thinking their stimulus checks are nothing more than junk mail.
Plus more rain and more snow. It's another ABC 15 Weather Action Day.
And we'll be talking about when you should and should not be on the roadways to get up to that winter wonderland if you're waking up with us here in the Valley. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. You are watching ABC 15 Mornings. I'm Kaylee O'Kelly.
And I'm Nick Soletti here, social distancing from the newsroom. Of course, a lot of headlines to get to, including that exclusive interview with Vice President Harris. But first, we have to talk about that weather and that most accurate forecast. Let's bring in meteorologist Iris Hermosillo, who's social distancing from home today. Iris, I was going to ask if you have your boxing gloves, because it's been a 1-2 punch, a 3-4 punch. It's just been so many systems you've been tracking for us.
I was like, uh-oh, where's this going? Yeah, right? I need some. Blocking all these storms moving through. Although, you know what? I think we're all like, come on, give me some more, because we need rain, we need the snow. We can certainly use it. And we're going to get another blast of it here today, although it's not going to be as much as what we saw earlier this week. But still, some impacts, especially in northern Arizona and for our Valley's evening commute, too. Right now, though, if you're getting ready to step outside, we've got mostly cloudy skies across the state, a storm system coming in from the west, and it's bringing a whole lot of rain and snow to California. Eventually, some of that rain and that snow moves into our state too, but it's going to be a quick mover. So it won't move in, at least into the valley, until this afternoon and evening, and then it's gone tonight, and by tomorrow, we're back to sunny and dry just in time for the weekend. So as you drive into work, it'll be cloudy in most spots, but dry. I think we will see some clearing, I think by 8 to 9 a.m., but then the clouds thicken up again as those showers start to move in. By lunchtime, they're still going to be just to our west, but they'll be moving in after that, with showers and thunderstorms likely for the evening drive. We'll talk about how much rain and what to expect across the high country in that full forecast still ahead.
All right, thanks, Iris. Well, new this morning, Loop 202 westbound Red Mountain is back open near Center Parkway after a crash involving a wrong-way driver in the overnight hours. We actually have some video from the scene as well. We still are working to figure out some more information and figure out if anyone has been seriously hurt. So once we have that information, we'll let us know. But what DPS did tell us is that multiple vehicles were involved with this wreck, and they had to shut down the freeway in order to clean the debris. So they're still investigating whether impairment was a factor in the crash, and we will, of course, let you know what we find out.
All right, Chelsea, thank you for staying on top of that one. Now to the latest on the fight against the coronavirus here in Arizona and across the country. As of right now, our state has confirmed more than 743,000 cases of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. Our numbers are expected to go up when we get an update around 8:30 this morning. But USA Today is reporting COVID cases across the U.S. have fallen 35% from their peak January 11th. And that is based on data from Johns Hopkins University. The average number of daily cases is around 162,000 from 249,000. And this morning, airlines are fighting back against a proposed new requirement for domestic travelers. The CDC considering a rule that would force travelers to provide negative COVID-19 test results in order to fly across the nation. Airlines calling this rule impractical because results can take longer than 3 days to come back.
Airlines aren't the only industry struggling right now because of the pandemic. We've seen Arizona restaurants doing whatever they can to stay in business. Mark Thompson joining us live this morning. And Mark, some of our favorite dining places are having to shut down for good. This is just so tough for them.
It really is, Nick. Good morning to you. And this all started back in March of last year when Governor Doug Ducey announced that restaurants would only be able to provide takeout options.
It was probably one of the roughest years I could tell you in Arizona restaurant history.
We spoke with Steve Chukri, and he is with the Arizona Restaurant Association. He says that in Arizona, they lost between 1,000 and 2,000 restaurants over the course of a year. That's 20% across the state and about $2 billion in restaurant sales. And you likely know someone who was laid off during this time, whether it was a server or a chef or somebody else who works in restaurant staff, since 80% of the hospitality workforce has lost their jobs. Now, some have come back, but certainly not all.
We had to, displace a lot of workers in our industry that still haven't been able to come back because, to your point, our banquet space at fine dining restaurants hasn't come back. And that's a big part of our business. Catering, people go into offices, sandwiches being delivered, all those types of things haven't come back whatsoever. And so we still have that hole we're trying to fill.
Yeah, and a little bit of relief. Governor Doug Ducey recently announced an additional $1 million will go towards restaurants to help them furnish and build out their outdoor seating. And any small business with less than 50 employees, they can apply for up to $10,000. We got a link to that application process in the Things to Do section of ABC15.com. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC15 Arizona. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, thank you for that. Now for some more of our top stories this morning. A memorial service is happening today for a fallen ASU police officer. Officer Joseph Montgomery died earlier this month in a motorcycle crash. You can see a live stream of the services at 3 o'clock on the ASU Police Department's Facebook. Former President Donald Trump meeting with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. The two discussed strategies for winning back control of the House in 2022. However, some Republican leaders were opposed to the trip, saying it could further divide the GOP. A lawyer for Jacob Chansley saying his client is willing to testify against the former president in the impeachment trial next month. Chansley's facing charges for his role in the insurrection on the U.S. Capitol. The QAnon supporter and at least 4 others who are facing charges say they were following Trump's orders when they stormed the Capitol back on January 6th.
Well, income tax filing begins next month, and there are some changes because of the pandemic that you need to know about. New for you this morning, Joe let you know about stimulus money, at-home schooling, and more.
No one wants to give back part of their stimulus payment. Good news, you don't have to. That money's not considered taxable. Neither is any government money received for rental assistance. It's a different story for unemployment compensation. Unemployment is taxable, but just like your paycheck, how much you owe at tax time is dependent on how much you had taken out of each check to pay for taxes. Check your statements. The law allows a flat 10% withheld from benefits to cover tax liability. As for deductions, many Arizonans worked from home during much of 2020. That means internet, phone, and other costs. Can you deduct home office expenses? Well, yes, if you're self-employed, an independent contractor, you can deduct those expenses. But if you're an employee, get a W-2 from an employer, there is no federal or state deduction for that. Unfortunately, the same for any expenses while your kids are taught from home. No deductions. But if you're a teacher and you paid for personal protective equipment out of pocket, it can go towards your $250 educator tax deduction. Also new in 2020, a charitable deduction if you don't itemize. It's for cash contributions up to $300 that is deducted from your taxable income. And back to that stimulus check, if you qualify but didn't get one of them, you can file for the recovery rebate credit with your taxes. It'll either increase your refund or decrease the amount you owe. Go to abc15.com/letjoeknow for more on that and how to file your taxes for free. I'm Investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Joe Ducey, thank you for that. Hollywood in mourning right now after the death of legendary actress Cicely Tyson, her career spanning decades, earning her Emmy and Tony Awards. Tyson, who broke barriers for actresses of color, starred in theater, film, and TV productions. She made history back in 1963 when she became the first black actress to star in a TV drama. Tyson continued to work well into her 90s, portraying roles on House of Cards and How to Get Away with Murder. Her memoir, Just As I Am, was released on Tuesday. Tyson passed away at 96 years old. Truly will be missed. Such a trailblazer in so many ways.
Well, Black History Month does begin Monday. The U.S. Postal Service just unveiling its 44th Black Heritage Stamp, which honors legendary playwright August Wilson. He's considered a trailblazer for bringing African-American dramas to the American theater, and his play Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was just adapted into a film, and it is currently streaming on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard this is good. Of course, he's got
excellent.
Quite a resume there. So many plays. Well, on the run for nearly a week, but 2 wanted Arizona fugitives are back in custody this morning. Next on ABC 15 Mornings, we speak with one of the officers responsible for that capture.
I know Arizona has been one of, if not the hardest hit by COVID.
Plus, it's my one-on-one interview with Vice President Kamala Harris, an ABC 15 exclusive. Coming up right here at 6:30, you're going to hear what she has to say about the pandemic. We ask her why about a lot of things, including issues that matter most to you, right here in Arizona.
Well, time now for that most accurate forecast. It's an ABC 15 weather action day as we track another storm system set to move into our state today. It's going to bring valley rain and thunderstorms by this afternoon and evening. That's when it's most likely that we'll see rain and thunderstorms. And for the high country, more snow there too. This storm has been hitting California for the last couple of days. It's been bringing a significant amount of snow and a whole lot of rain to that state. But once it moves through our state, it's not going to be as much snow or as much rain as they've seen out to our west, but we're going to get another push of showers and thunderstorms, and we could see some accumulating snow, of course, in the high country too. Right now, if you're getting ready to step outside, we're pretty quiet across the state, but I am starting to see a few of those showers move into northwest Arizona, and that's an area where we're going to initially see those showers and thunderstorms develop. So that's the area that gets it first. And then watch, these showers and storms spread from west to east across our state. So by lunchtime today, we've got some snow falling at the Grand Canyon. We've got a mix of rain and snow near Kingman, and showers and thunderstorms moving into spots like Prescott and western Maricopa County. So by noon, we'll be watching those showers just west of the Phoenix area, and then into the afternoon, those showers and thunderstorms expand across the valley, and we'll see more of that high country snow too in spots like Flagstaff, and that change over to snow in Prescott as well. So this is the peak time for showers and thunderstorms here in the valley. I think after 1 p.m. the rain starts to move in, but then we see the peak of it between about 3, 4, even 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock before we see the bulk of the action start to shift further to the east. Then going into that 8 o'clock hour, still tracking a few showers and storms near the valley, so we're not quite done yet, but the bulk of it will be east of our area by that point, with the bulk of the snow also moving into eastern Arizona by around 8 o'clock here this evening. And then overnight tonight, things start to wind down and we're back to sunny and dry by tomorrow. So as you look at that hour by hour rain chance in the valley, that 90% chance for rain happens at around 2 to 3 to 4 to even 5 o'clock here this evening, and then we'll keep those rain and thunderstorm chances around through about 10 o'clock, elevated through about then, and then starting to taper them off overnight. I think for the most part after midnight tonight, we're done with the rain chances here in the valley. We've got winter weather alerts across northern Arizona. They're winter weather advisories for the areas that are going to see the higher amounts of snow. 3 to 6 inches is expected in this area of Mojave County, spots like Kingman, areas above 5,500 feet, I should clarify, in northwest Arizona. And then for areas above 6,000 feet, we've got that winter weather advisory in north central Arizona. It starts at noon, as again, that's when we're going to start to see those snow showers move in. We could pick up another 4 to 6 inches in Flagstaff and Forest Lakes, 3 to 5 in Williams, and 1 to 3 in Prescott. And for the White Mountains, that alert goes into effect at 5 o'clock this evening and remains in effect through tomorrow morning, with another 2 to 4 inches possible in spots like Show Low. And there you see those snow amounts. Again, it's not as much as what we saw earlier this week, but more accumulating snow and gusty winds that will lead to difficult travel conditions up north. So it's not going to be a great afternoon to travel to the high country. If you can hold off to Saturday, that's going to be your better bet. If you have to head out today, do it early before lunchtime. And for the valley, plan on a soggy drive home this evening with a 90% chance for rain and a high of just 64 today, but we'll be warming up, and by Sunday, we're back up to 70 degrees.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Thanks so much, Iris. Chelsea here. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're enjoying not only the start of your weekend, but these Friday-like conditions with our Accident Law Group traffic maps. Things look really good out there. Let's zoom around town, shall we? I-10, if you're traveling eastbound approaching the stack, we are still green at this point. I-17, as you travel around the Durango curve, trying to meet over to the I-10 split over by Sky Harbor, you're going to see a higher volume of traffic, especially once you get closer to 19th Avenue on I-17 southbound. The North Valley looking clear and quiet for all of those freeways. Carefree Highway 303 3, I-17 101. East Valley looking much better than it was earlier today. I mean, most of the freeways were fine, but Loop 202 Red Mountain was closed earlier this morning, and it's back open near Scottsdale, so that's some good news. I-10 also looking pretty nice. Same with State Route 347 if you're traveling southbound or into Maricopa. There were some potholes on I-10 westbound at Riggs, so just be careful over there.
To the sign, I seen these two guys on this farm. They look like Southwest gas employees, the way they were dressed. This man runs up to me and tells me, Joe, call the cops. He said, I think these are the guys they're looking for. And I was just like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. It was just really nerve-wracking, scared, exciting, everything at the same time.
Okay, I love that guy. We're going to talk about who he is in just a moment. But we've been talking about these inmates who broke out of the Florence State Prison on Saturday after days of searching. Been talking about it here with you guys. Watch out for them, right? Armed, not armed, but dangerous. It was a call from that guy that helped law enforcement track two escaped prisoners down in Pinal County. And they were considered dangerous, but they were found together in that cotton field in a remote area just south of Coolidge. So this morning, we have Officer Philip Bluer with us, one of the brave officers who helped with the capture of these men. Thank you so much for keeping our community safe and feeling relief this morning.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
A call like this comes in, and obviously, I mean, you guys get calls, but calls like these, they have to be a little bit rare, especially after so many days of escape, after the escape.
Absolutely. We were actually talking about it, and it's like a lightning strike. It happens, once in your lifetime.
So what was it like? I mean, you heard that they were out in this field. Then what?
It really comes down to an amazing coordinated effort by everybody involved, from the citizen calling the police and actually following the suspects and monitoring them and every move that they were making. Great relaying information by our PD dispatchers, and then the responding officers, Coolidge PD and the U.S. Marshals, who responded to the scene, formed up around the subjects and were able to address them in the field.
So they were able to get their hands on tools to break out of the state prison. They were found, what, not very far away?
And I believe it was 14 miles from the prison.
Maybe I watch too many movies, and I'm wondering, for those of you watching at home, to see the pictures, to see them taken down, and they were still in their prison garb or uniforms. I don't know why I was surprised that they weren't in like a disguise or something.
Yeah, you think they would have changed into something to disguise themselves, but typically they're not that smart.
So we knew that they were dangerous. We knew that if we were to see them, don't approach, call 911. Did you get a lot of tips?
We did a few tips. Unfortunately, they ended, especially with the rain and whatnot that we'd had recently. So we were temporarily stuck. So it was really a great opportunity. Unfortunate for the family, but that no one was harmed and that they were able to contact us and help lead to their arrest.
Well, it sounds like, yeah, they kept a safe distance, right? The gentleman that you did hear from was the guy who did call in, and there was a significant reward for information that would lead to the capture of the arrest. He says he's going to help his mom and pay some bills. So, I mean, just an excellent interview, an excellent person to be able to do this. These guys had considerable rap sheets, including crimes against children. They obviously were able to break out of the prison. We know that that's not your jurisdiction, and we'll be asking those questions, obviously, as to how of the prison leaders. But for you guys, what comes next?
That's really it for us. I mean, we're fortunate to be in the right place at the right time to aid in the apprehension of both subjects. But all said and done, we turn it over to Department of Public Safety and DOC, and then they'll handle it from there.
Well, this is a good reminder, I think you'll agree, of